Ball Super, we've seen that becoming a god or having god energy is really the only way how most people can compete. For example, Goku, Vegeta, they have to go God mode in order to compete with Beerus. If they're not in God mode, then they're gonna get fodderized simply because being just a regular Super Saiyan or just being a regular powered up person, that's not gonna cut it anymore. We even saw with the other universe, Kaba got demolished. He could only go Super Saiyan and he was no match for Vegeta. Remember when Super Saiyan used to be something that was hard to achieve, and if you became Super Saiyan, you were like top tier? That's not the case anymore. You're going to need some type of God energy or God key in order to stand up in these type of parts of Dragon Ball Super. And there's one person in the series of the Dragon Ball who's on the Z Fighters who's, regardless of what arc it is, they've always somewhat been behind the Saiyans, and that's Piccolo. Simply because Piccolo, he was the Demon King, he was one of the biggest threats in the series, and if not, possibly, some people could argue that he was one of the best villains. And Piccolo, we know that he's always been at least one or two steps behind the Saiyans. For example, back in the Namek saga, he got a huge power up, and at one point, while Goku was incapacitated, he was the strongest. He was one of the only people, along with Gohan, when he had his potential, like when Gohan was angry, who could stand up to Frieza. And then again in the Cell saga, Piccolo at one point was the strongest person. Vegeta himself admitted, damn, like this guy's just a Namekian, so why is he stronger than me? Now in the Buu saga, he kind of became fodder, but at the same time, he still had a little bit of help. I mean, he was able to train Gotenks and stuff. So he always has been a relevant character. And now with Dragon Ball Super, I do think that Piccolo is going to either train with the gods or he's going to get some type of god key. Now, what I mean by that is that maybe there's some type of Namekian god, because we know that Kami, he was the god of Earth, and we know that the Grand Elder, he was once the godlike figure. But what if there's actually like a Namekian god, like a beer sort of one? Like, let's say there's like a god, like the other universe, that one of the gods of Namekian, they end up training Piccolo, because they're going to see that there's not too many Namekians in this verse or in this series. So he'll feel obligated to train Piccolo, and then Piccolo could get God Key, and then he'll be able to compete with the other warriors, because we know that Piccolo, he's not going to go anywhere. He was chosen to fight in one of the tournaments. That just shows that he's going to stay around. He's going to be relevant, and in order for him to get relevant, he's going to need some type of power up. And what would be more epic